Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute to LTTV in the building, man.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Nobody's LT, and I'm certainly not implying that.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute to LTTV in the building, man.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Nobody's LT, and I'm certainly not implying that.
LT cooking your ass.
Can we talk about crepuscular rays for a second?
LTTV, whoever his channel name is called. I'm sorry for being the dusty. How about that?
If y'all want to keep up with the news and this shit be going on, subscribe to LTTV. That nigga know everything about everything. I ain't gonna lie.
However, the half-truths, I think, are disingenuous. Not only do I think they're disingenuous, they are disingenuous. And I was wrong for calling out everybody else and clearly not seeing Anton Daniels for what he was doing and not saying much about it.
These black YouTubers are like a vessel for what white people really want to say. They can't just come out and say these type of things because they already know they will be labeled as racist. So if they see a black person saying something racist, it's going to make them feel better and be like, ah, see, a black person said it, I'm not wrong.
From people who will never truly accept him. The house slave doesn't just hurt us through their actions. They poison our minds with self-hatred. They teach our children that being black is something to overcome, not something to celebrate. They turn our survival mechanisms into weapons against ourselves. Here's what makes the house slaves so dangerous. They convince white people that racism isn't the problem. We are. They give oppressors permission to keep oppressing because, see, even they agree with us.
I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's get right into this one. So Oshay woke up and chose violence. Oshay's like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm standing on business today. And he called out Coon Anton Daniels. Finally, we've been waiting for this moment for a long time. A lot of folks were like, yo, LT, call out Oshay. He's been doing X, Y, and Z. He's not calling out Anton for years now. For years, since the Pearl situation. Since the Pearl situation where this bitch ass nigga had Pearl on his channel caping for Pearl when she made obvious racist comments. Going out sad. Now, Oshay's like, fuck this. I'm calling out all the black conservatives that are cooning it down. Making a mockery of themselves. Anton fits the mold. And this is the thing. His comment section has been clamoring for him to do this for a while now. When you look at the video that he put up, before we get into the video, let's get into the comment section, chat. Hold on, let me pull up the comment section. This shit made me laugh. When I first started seeing this, I'm like, wow, Oshay finally called this nigga out. The grift is It's coming to a wrap, man. Someone said, Anton grifting off Chicago streets. He never talks about Detroit news. I've been calling this guy out. He'll talk about black issues and ignore everything white. Jeez. Anton Daniels is a whole bootlick. Anton Daniels is a ninja who Harriet Tubman carried the heat for. I unsubscribe from him. He literally has nothing good to say about his own people. This is what he does. It's called monetizing hate, self-hate, and hate from others. The return on investment is great for the short term. Yeah, for the short term. Look at this, 223 likes.
You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
This is bad. I had to unsubscribe from Anton. His pandering is way over the top for me. He definitely lost me when he went on Fresh and Fit and his take on the incident at the HBCU. Now, he went on Fresh and Fit and disrespected his wife. Anton Daniels cries when Zesty TV, remember Mike TV was disrespecting his wife and his daughter when Anton put his wife and daughter out there, trying to use his wife as a symbol while shitting on other black women, opening her up for the line of fire. He went on Fresh and Fit and act like he was fucking the most of hoes. He was acting like he was out here with all the women on Fresh and Fit. He was acting like he was out there for real. Just capping through his teeth, making a mockery of his relationship, a mockery of his wife, mockery of his marriage. Disgusting work out here just to try to fit in with the Fresh and Fit crowd. It's just pathetic, bro. The grift, bro. Let's get into this.
Because I'm watching it. And I know what the culture is like because I was raised in it, but it doesn't mean that it makes it right.
Recently, I've been covering the decline of many black conservative commentators.
Yep, the Hodge twins have been getting cooked. They've been victims.
You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
He's been running up the views on them. They're confused. They're like Stevie Knight. Have you seen Stevie Knight after he took the L to ABBA in that debate? Nigga's confused. He's really sitting there like, am I a coon? Are my perspectives, are my black conservative perspectives that I've been copying and pasting, are they coon perspectives? This nigga was like, wow, he didn't even realize. It had to take a nigga like me to jump out the window and be like,
LT checked him. LT said,
Bro, you're obviously a coon. You're obviously cooning it down. You said children ain't starving in America? Oh, well, they ain't starving. They're going hungry, but they ain't starving. And I'm like, bro, come on, man.
Survey said.
Fuck out of here, bruh.
Nigga, you gotta go. The fuck is wrong with you?
All right, let's get back into the show, chat.
People such as the Hodge twins and even Officer Brandon Tatum. And of course, what I'm saying about them is true. At least I feel so. While they are right on many issues and aspects of their commentary, they tell half-truths, meaning that they don't explain the entire situation as to why something is going on. They're pretty much just cut and paste. This is happening and blacks are to blame. But when you look at the whole situation, it's more to be told there. And in the comment sections.
Now, the comment was children going hungry. And he's like, well, they're not technically starving to death. And it's like, bro, they're children hungry, underprovided for, in poverty. Their parents is dusting it up. They can't do anything for them. System ain't giving enough, so they're like, why not have some schools and public schools provide food and lunches for certain kids? Because a lot of kids were afforded that privilege growing up, and it did a lot for them. So
of the videos, one name keeps coming up: Anton Daniels. What? For example, look at this. You can add Anton Daniels to the list too. Keep calling him out, Unc. Anton Daniels is next. We lost him to the system. Anton Daniels, he's the same as the twins. I know you're cool with Anton, but that's what Anton Daniels do.
Damn.
So guys, I gotta offer you an apology. I was being hypocritical. I mentioned a few days ago.
See, Lee has been in the comment section calling out Oshay for a while. Calling out Oshay for this very same topic for a while. So shout out to Oshay for keeping it a stack, being accountable, and being like, you know what, I've been hypocritical, calling out all these motherfuckers and letting Anton off the hook. But Anton, the thirsty motherfucker that Anton is, the clout whore that Anton is, look what Anton did. Anton was in the comment section. This nigga said, appreciate the visibility. Thanks, Oshay. Love you, bro. And it's like, bro, what? Appreciate the visibility? We're calling you out for your absolute cooning. You better take notice and start taking some notes and switching up what the fuck you doing. But appreciate the visibility. Bro, what are we doing out here? Anton's been lost since the Lapeef days. The latter ends of being on the Lapeef network, where he was constantly trying to rage bait black women, angering black women, taking shots at them, disrespecting them. And then when they acted back, he's like, oh, see, it was always in there. This ratchet ass. And it's like, bro, what? You disrespected, you violated, they're defending themselves. And now they're X, Y, and he's been doing that from time. So
Brandon Tatum calls out Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes for being anti-Semitic, but never mentions Candace Owens. And Candace Owens is his friend. And in fact, Candace Owens is probably more anti-Semitic, or at least the Israel may think so, than the other two. In the same way, Anton Daniels has been putting out some pretty interesting content that I disagree with. But I am friendly with Anton Daniels. It is because Anton Daniels, when I first met him, wasn't as big as he is now, and he's much bigger and a better YouTuber than me. But Anton Daniels is different than Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, or the Hodge twins. Number one, Anton Daniels is married to a black woman.
He's right, you know.
Now, his commentary might be different, but it's...
I think that's why Anton Daniels is far worse than the other ones, and that's why I've been calling out Anton Daniels for a long time, because Anton Daniels set up a syndicate, a little sector on YouTube, where he's put on many content creators, a lot of black conservative grifters. He put them on, he's had them on panels, he continues to grow them on his panels, and what do? They preach the same dusty ass rhetoric that he does. So he's putting black people in the position to be the same coon that he is. And there's many of them.
Actions still qualify as partially being pro-black. Anton Daniels may be harshly critical of black Americans and what we do. He has a lovely black wife. I've spoken to her before. A black daughter. He's taking care of a black family. Okay. 2, Anton Daniels largely has a black base. And at first, he was marketing his content towards the black community. All the black podcasts.
This is why I say it's the worst. You're marketing the dusty unaccountability for other folks and harsh criticism and entirely too much focus on the black community while being one of those people with the half-truths. Let me use a stat. Let me throw the stat out there. Let me give no context, and let me just act like this is representative of what the black community is in the most negative way. I always say men lie, women lie, numbers tell half the truth. Stats without context is bullshit. It's like saying Venezuela is the richest nation because they have the most crude oil reserves. And it's like, yeah, Venezuela's dusting it up poor as shit. Crude oil reserves by the number without any context of how their ability to actually extract the oil, the cleanliness of the oil. These factors go into how a country would be rich, but you just want to look at one stat and point it out and then run a narrative. That's what they would do. I just use that as an example because it's the easiest example that came to my mind. But let's get back into this.
He has the live events he's done. He monetizes a black audience, which I respect. He wasn't trying to just get to an all-white audience.
See, I can't say that. The exact opposite. You're monetizing a black audience to sell folks out, to cape for pearl, to disrespect black folks.
The black podcasts he has, the live events he's done, he monetizes a black audience, which I respect. He wasn't trying to just get to an all-white audience. Anton Daniels has definitely grown his offline presence. He's appeared on Fox News. He's appeared on Dr. Phil.
He has.
And this is a part of his marketing strategy. He's not staying still. And that's why Anton Daniels is probably going to cross 1 million subscribers in the next 2 weeks or a few weeks because...
Now, Anton Daniels, 100% is probably the hardest working coon out there. Congratulations, sir.
Number one, of his work ethic and exactly how he moves around. His strategy is really monetizing the black community while being harshly critical of it. And he's one of the few people that have shown that you can strongly do that. 3, Anton Daniels has a wider range of content. He can cover red pill things, he can cover geopolitical things, and he can then come back and criticize the black community, which is different than the Hodge twins, who all they talk about is black fatigue, or even Officer Tatum, or even Candace Owens. He covers more culturally than the other ones. So that's kind of why I didn't want to really bring him up a lot. You're right. I'm a hypocrite, and I got to call it out. You guys got me.
Got him.
Anton Daniels is being a little disingenuous with his content. He does tell truths, but many of them are half-truths. And I have an example of what I'm talking about. Rewind.
He does a lot of fabrications too. Most of the things he says is fabrications.
On September 23rd, 2025, a duo called Fearless Debates showed up unannounced at Tennessee State University and were escorted off campus. And of course, for me, this was a slam dunk case
Of course, these dumbasses showed up to their campus with no permission, didn't book any time, nothing. Just showed up, just antagonizing, and then getting it on tape and playing the victims. Oh, what happened to the strong alpha males on the right? The far right, strong alpha males. Now y'all crying and victim when you're showing up to campus. You're showing up unannounced, unbooked, unsolicited. We don't care for your... Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Of what transpired. But this is where me and Anton Daniels differ. Anton Daniels saw it the same way that other black conservatives saw it.
Because
that
they're
the students
coons.
were rowdy and the students...
If they were black folks, they'd be like, who shows up to a college campus antagonizing folks without actually scheduling something with the college/university? How unprofessional are these niggers? That's what they would be saying. 100% that's what they'd be saying. Hard R and everything. That's what these coons would be saying. But when it's the white folks, oh my God, they're the victims. Like, bro, HBCUs have been targeted after... Charlie Kirk been shot by a white dude in Utah. For some reason, HBCUs are being targeted because America has a permanent hard-on for black folks. It's pathetic out here, man.
For tripping. And of course,
Stick together.
Pause.
they were, right? I'm not going to say that they could have handled themselves better because, yes, they did stereotypically look bad at a certain point. I'm not going to argue that. Of course, they were, right? I'm not going to say that they could have handled themselves better because, yes, they did stereotypically look bad at a certain point.
Oh shit, man, you drinking the juice, man. What do you mean stereotypically looking bad at some point? For standing up for their campus and running these people that came for no reason, trying to debate them and antagonize them when they weren't asked for, they were not summoned. What did they do wrong? Nobody was violent. They simply asked them to get the fuck off the campus.
I'm not going to argue that. But that's not all. Anton Daniels, after covering it, points something out that's pretty interesting.
I have no clue how many HBCUs exist. I have no clue how many HBCUs are actually on an up and up. But as you can see in the... No clue how many HBCUs exist. I have no clue how many HBCUs are actually on an up and up. But as you can see in the cover photo of this video, the young man has a screwdriver. He has a screwdriver now in this video.
Oh my God. It's so serious. The young man has a screwdriver. A screwdriver? What is he gonna do? Fix an appliance, sir? I'm so confused here.
Because when I reviewed it, when I just played it really quickly yesterday, I didn't know that it was going to be a viral moment.
So Anton Daniels is talking about this student that's holding a screwdriver, all right? And it doesn't seem like the person who has the screwdriver is actually trying to fix something.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Bro's holding a screwdriver. Who the fuck cares, bruh? He's holding... We're gonna make a big deal of a young student holding a screwdriver. This... Yo, if there wasn't a further reach, are we...
It looks like the person has a screwdriver in case something pops off. But Anton Daniels is bringing...
A screwdriver just in case something pops off? Bro,
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Yo, y'all can't be serious.
This up to basically prove his point that you have students at HBCUs who don't want to engage in debate, and these black students are violent. And this is a point that he typically would like to prove in this content. Till I wanted to find out, is it a crime to have a screwdriver? I even went to Google AI, and it says no, it is not inherently illegal to possess a screwdriver.
End of discussion. Why the fuck are we talking about this?
But carrying one with the intent to commit a crime, such as a burglary, can make it illegal. The legality depends on the intent behind possessing the tool rather than the tool itself.
Bro, what is with these AI overviews? The legality depends on the intent? How would you know the intent unless someone was caught physically stealing or breaking into a car, taking out their deck or something, caught using it in that way? Then it's like, okay, this is the material you use to do the theft. The theft would be illegal. The breaking into the car would be illegal. The screwdriver would be the material you use to use it, to actually access it. So you know what?
So a screwdriver can also be considered a burglary tool or even an offensive weapon if it...
Yes, but something has to have been done first. You can't just be looking at a person with a screwdriver and thinking, yeah, criminality. The fuck? Was something done with the screwdriver?
Is intended to cause harm or to facilitate a crime, all right? What Anton Daniels is trying to do is to present a situation that's not even there. The student never used a screwdriver. The student never attacked anybody with the screwdriver. But here's where the half-truths come in. Anton Daniels, could you tell me a reason why a student would have a screwdriver?
On alert and on pause, at least 6 historically black colleges have halted activities after receiving potential threats against their campuses. The lockdown measures come in the wake of yesterday's shooting of Charlie Kirk, though officials have not linked any of those threats to that shooting.
On September 11, 2025, Charlie Kirk officially died after being shot on September 10th. HBCUs went...
Not linked any of those threats to that shooting.
On September 11, 2025, Charlie Kirk officially died after being shot on September 10th.
What?
What? He got shot on September 10th. He died instantly. He didn't die the day following.
HBCUs went under lockdown, meaning that MAGA supporters or Charlie Kirk supporters were making death threats to
Or was it the 11th when he got shot? I don't know which day he got shot. I can't remember. It was the 10th or the 11th. But the day he got shot is the day he died. The way he said it wasn't the day following.
HBCUs. And these HBCUs, nor the students or the staff, had anything to do with what happened in Utah.
That's
in fact,
the point.
HBCU campuses are so far removed from Utah, it's ridiculous. It's literally on the other side of the country.
Bro, the only black folks in Utah play for the Utah Jazz, and they are contractually obligated to be in Utah.
So, even though they were not at fault.
Oh, and there's one nigga in the crowd right there. My bad. Okay, there's one. All right, we got one.
These people, white people, I'm assuming, were calling and threatening these schools. And which schools went under lockdown? Well, we can see Alabama State University, Virginia State University, Hampton University, Southern University, Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Bethune-Cookman University. So the states that were affected are Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Virginia. Students are on lockdown. Some people are afraid to go to class, okay? This was just 12 days ago. In Tennessee State or Fisk University, none of these states were mentioned. But guess what? You see these MAGA students come onto the campus, and every HBCU had to be on high alert. There's no way that these schools could be under lockdown and the other schools don't understand what's going on. Every school is taking security precautions at this time, all right? However, Anton Daniels doesn't want to mention why the student may have had a screwdriver. And obviously, if I'm a student there, it would be from protection because these whites have been talking about threatening blacks. Then you have some whites who are emboldened enough to come onto your campus and you didn't expect them to be there, which we'll get into a little bit later. but they came anyway. So would you go and get a screwdriver protection? Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it myself, but it's the point of why they're doing it. Why are these students acting hostile? Literally, MAGA threatened them. And this is what Anton Daniels leaves out. So many of these guys leaves out. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, black people do a lot of things that don't make sense. And of course, we got to call that out. But he don't want to call out the fact that MAGA was threatening black students. He want to leave that all the way out. And that's what is disingenuous, in my honest opinion. Let's go into more of his commentary.
This young white man was looking to have conversations and debate on the campus of Tennessee State University, which is an HBCU. And when he pulled up to Tennessee State University, I'm pretty sure that he anticipated some pushback, but I'm not sure if he anticipated a practically a riot.
So he says here, he thought that these guys would try to start a riot. Okay, now if he believes that, if Anton Daniels believes that, he thought it would cause some confusion going into an HBCU, then let's look at why the person would come to an HBCU. If you thought that you were going to get there and something was going to happen, then why would you go in the way that you went? Why would you go without the protection that you could clearly...
These guys are trying to be the new Charlie Kirk. They're coming up, they're antagonizing folks purposely with their cameras out to try to get a viral moment. They knew exactly what they were doing. If you wanted to have an actual debate, you would have contacted the university and scheduled something formally, instead of randomly showing up with your cameras playing the victim when you got booted off when HBCUs are on high notice because they've been threatened with attacks. This is ridiculous. It's cut and dry. All this other bullshit is fluff. Anton Daniels talking about the screwdriver's fluff to get away from the real point that these guys are just being menaces, just antagonizing folks for no reason. Incorrect framing. So now we're focused on a different part of the story.
Help yourself or help the students if you felt that way. Anton Daniels is using his opinion to justify what the guy did. And he's saying, hey, he probably was expecting some pushback. Well, why was he expecting some pushback, Anton? Oh, because you know that most HBCUs lean toward the left. And also, you would have to know that HBCUs were threatened by MAGA supporters. Yes. So this was a whole troll idea. The guy was there to get a reaction.
Yep.
All right? But
Exactly.
this is not necessarily so bad right now. But this is.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the culture. I'm disappointed in the community. I'm disappointed in the amount of black wife beaters, wave caps, pajamas, sandals, white socks, and aggression.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
The amount of do-rags, wife beaters, pajama pants, sandals, and white socks. Bro described one human being. The dude in the dead center, he described one dude and act like it was a bunch of them, a plethora of dudes dressed that way. Meanwhile, in white universities, or universities everywhere, your local Walmart, you will see white women casually wearing pajama pants and house clothes. Anton doesn't call that out. He's focused on black women in Target with bonnets on. Do you see the pathetic pandering while trying to denigrate your own community, while seeing other communities basically display the same behaviors and activities, but you want to make a big deal out of it on one end and not on the other? It's ridiculous.
That I see from these young people that are supposed to be the future of America and college students. I'm very disappointed. The amount of aggression that people want to get into a brawl is crazy. It's crazy. I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because I'm watching it and I know what the culture is like because I was raised in it, but it doesn't mean that it makes it right.
So now Anton Daniels is attacking how these students look. These guys have on sandals, pajamas, wave caps, and
not these guys. He said it as a matter of fact, as if it was these guys. Meanwhile, it is one person. every piece of clothing that he described, acting like it was a bunch of people in the group. He was just seeing this on a bunch of different people and he was pointing it out. It was all on one person.
These are the kids of our future. Okay, these are valid points because I've went to HBCUs in predominantly white.
This is not a valid point in the slightest, Oshay. We just debunked the idiocy of the point.
Institutions, and yeah, these students do dress down. But here's what Anton Daniels isn't saying. White students also dress down. They also wear sandals. I mean, if you want to talk about sandals.
Making the same point that I made, but this debunks Anton's point, so that's not a valid point at all. It's invalid for this very reason.
White people are the king of sandals, wearing pajamas to class, doing whatever the hell they feel like doing. Like, I went to school with white people. Like, I understand, like, all college students do this. Now, if you want to talk about bonnets and wave caps, that might be culturally, but white people do equally things, if not worse. So, again, this is just to prove his point about how down bad the schools are.
Yes, because they want black folks stuck in this permanent slavery where they can't do whatever they want to do within the legal means of doing things. But they want this freedom for everybody else, but black folks, his own community, Anton always denigrates his own community and hyper focuses on certain things, puts a negative connotation to it, repeats it, has his underlings repeating it, has certain people like Oshay sometimes even buying the juice of the negative stereotypes and agreeing with certain things when they're not valid at all because it's an indoctrination cycle. That's why we're going to get into another video that kind of laments what these folks do. But we're going to get into this.
But here is what Anton Daniels is also not mentioning. Did the Fearless Debate guys have any permission from the school to be there? Jeopardy music! And the answer is no. Fearless Debates did not have permission from Tennessee State University. They went there unannounced. They had not secured prior permission to demonstrate or debate there, which means that this is all of their fault. Coming up there with mine saying DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals now when you don't have permission to be there, which means that the ownership is not on Tennessee State University. The ownership is on these students. But Anton Daniels tells the half-truth there. He goes around that. And if it was the other way around, he would say, if it was some black students going onto the white campuses, want to know what Anton would say? Why didn't they get permission?
Exactly. Exactly.
So this is the half-truth. He wants to deal with the outcome of them showing up instead of dealing with the prevention mechanism of why they showed up. Fearless Debates not only put themselves in danger, but they put the students in danger, all right? Then he uses all of this to prove another point about HBCUs.
I looked at my daughter's college things, you know, like what she was applying to college. And I seen a couple of HBCUs on there. And she was just, I said, let's see, what is this doing on here? She said, oh, no, it's just a bunch of lists. She was like, me and my friends put together a list. It's not necessarily what I'm going to apply to yet. And then the ones that she actually applied to, none of them was on there. And I'm very thankful for that because it's important for her to continue to be raised in the admonition of her father.
So Anton Daniels' daughter is applying to college according to him, and he did not want his daughter to go to an HBCU, which is, I mean, again, it's a fair choice. I can see HBCUs are, at least when I was going, disorganized, tend to have more problems than PWIs. I get it. But then he said something more interesting.
This is where they want us to send our children. This is what they keep trying to tell us that is waiting for us as far as great education, strong networks, the best of the best.
So he's then making fun of the fact that HBCUs are supposed to have this high education and all of these opportunities and connections. And in the prior clip, he mentions that his daughter should be more like her father, which is crazy because Anton Daniels is the epitome of working through a black community. He's been collaborating with people like Kevin Samuels, people like myself, Charleston White. That's how Anton Daniels got to where he is now. And He went the independent route. This is what HBCUs are supposed to do, foster the...
Charleston White has a big part in Anton's channel growing. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers were there because of his collabs with Charleston White. And that was on Anton doing good business because Anton was paying him $10,000 per interview. And he was taking those interviews and chopping them up to holy hell. 20 clips from one of those motherfucking interviews, spreading them out from multiple channels and growing.
Those networks, it's literally a white space opportunity. So if your daughter wanted to be more like you, your daughter would go to HBCU, right? Because she'd be making her own way with all of that opportunity to connect the dots in Black America or through Africa or through the diaspora, which is also a white space opportunity. So again, this is what I feel with Anton Daniels. Number one, I respect the resilience. I respect his work ethic. He's a better YouTuber than me. I used to tease him about that and he passed me up. However, the half-truths, I think, are disingenuous. Not only do I think they're disingenuous, they are disingenuous. And I was wrong for calling out everybody else and clearly not seeing Anton Daniels for what he was doing and not saying much about it. So I just had to be honest about this. This is not to start a war with Anton. This is something that I'm seeing. And what I would hope is that in his commentary, to be more balanced, if he could be, and the reason why he could afford to be more balanced is because his audience is Black. The Hodge twins can't be balanced. Tatum can't be balanced. Candace Owens can be balanced to a little bit, but it has to be towards Israel.
Anton is he's the one person that can be balanced on his platform, speak to his large black fan base, and still keep the content going. He doesn't have to pander. He doesn't have to do this far-right grift.
But Anton Daniels could literally tell those guys tomorrow, listen, you guys getting the middle finger. I want to be honest towards the Black community for once. And he would not lose anything.
He wouldn't.
In my honest opinion.
It's facts.
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Jackson.
It's facts. What do I speak about? And who majority do I call out? People in the Black community. With objective, correct framing and for the progression and forwarding of the Black community. Let's call out these bums that are passport bros making Black travelers look bad. Put it in the correct framing that is just a bunch of these passport bros, the people that run under this moniker, that are buying pussy globally, that are dusting it up, that are assaulting women, that have roaches in their Airbnbs. It's those folks. Let's put it the correct framing. It's not Black people. It's not an abundance of Black men. It's Floyd and Austin and Rello.
Again, another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Which before I just cut a bell.
For 400 years, white racists have weaponized our own people against us. And today, I'm breaking down the 4 types of Black betrayal that keep us shackled.
Now, this video is very important. This is a significant video because this highlights and laments my disdain for somebody like Anton Daniels and the damage that somebody like Anton Daniels can do, because these other coons, they have large racist white fan bases. They're just talking to racist white folks who already agree with the points, and they're using them as a mouthpiece to get off those points and be like, see, these Black people, they understand and they feel like they're right for their racism. It's only those people that they really have under their wing. But Anton Daniels is a different type of, he built in a different way, so he can actually do damage to the Black community, and he's already done a lot of damage.
Level 1, the house slave. Meet Steven, the house slave who loves his chains so much, he'll kill to keep them on. This ain't just a movie character, y'all. This is the blueprint for the most toxic Black person in America.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I'll snatch your black off that nag down here in the mud so fast make your head. Steven.
See, Steven don't just serve white people. He is a white racist in Black skin. He's so deep in Stockholm Syndrome that he fears freedom more than bondage. Why? Because oppression is all he's ever known, and he's convinced himself that his survival depends on keeping happy. In Django Unchained, Steven isn't just a servant, he's the enforcer. When Broomhilda tries to escape, who punishes her? Steven. When Django arrives as a free man, who's most threatened? Steven. This man has so internalized his oppression that he sees other Black people's freedom as a personal attack on his identity. Sound familiar? That's Uncle Ruckus, the cartoon version of what's very real in our community. These are the black folks who will police you for being too black, who mock our culture to get white folks to pat them on the head and say, "You're one of the good ones." But this isn't just comedy, people. This is psychological warfare. The house slave mentality runs so deep that these individuals will literally work against their own people's interests to maintain their position in the white power structure. Herschel Walker literally said, "Black families don't need fathers because we had strong women." This man was so desperate for white Republican approval that he threw his own people under the bus on national television. He painted black fathers as dispensable while running for Senate in Georgia, the same state where his own father abandoned him. But here's where it gets really sick. Walker wasn't just talking to white Republicans. He was talking to black mothers, telling them they should be grateful to struggle alone. He was telling black children that they don't deserve fathers. Also, he could get a pat on the head from people who will never truly accept him. The house
type of projection was that?
Slave doesn't just hurt us through their actions. They poison our minds with self-hatred. They teach our children that being black is something to overcome, not something to celebrate. They turn our survival mechanisms into weapons against ourselves. Here's what makes the house slaves so dangerous. They convince white people that racism isn't the problem. We are. They give oppressors permission to keep oppressing because, see, even they agree with us. Remember, Stephen wasn't just loyal to Calvin Candy. He was more racist than his master. When the house exploded at the end of Django, it wasn't just a building burning down. It was the destruction of an entire system that depended on black people policing other black people. And that's why this mentality is the foundation of all the other levels. Every other type of black betrayal starts with this basic premise, that white approval is more valuable than black liberation.
Before we get to the next level, if you're learning something from this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for Black Stories Untold. We're out here telling the stories they don't want you to hear, exposing the systems they don't want you to understand. Your support keeps us free to speak these truths.
Shit, what channel is this again? I'm gonna find the channel at some point and link this in the link in the description because they gotta get their just dues.
Level 2, the assimilationist celebrity. I'm not black, I'm OJ. These people perfected the art of racial amnesia. They got so comfortable in white spaces that they forgot where they came from. Or worse, they remember, but they're ashamed of it. The assimilationist celebrity plays a different game than the house slave. They don't attack us directly, they just disappear us.
They always have that no facial hair look. That clean shave. I don't know why, not even a goatee or a mustache. Why is that?
They code switch so hard, they develop split personalities. Around white folks, oh, I don't really see color. But the moment they need us for damage control, suddenly they remember they're black. Tiger Woods literally created a whole new racial category, Cablinasian, to avoid being called black. This man was so uncomfortable with his African heritage that he invented a word to escape it. But when his career imploded and he needed redemption, suddenly black people were supposed to support him because we're family. O.J. Simpson spent decades distancing himself from the black community. He lived in white neighborhoods, dated white women, and famously said, "I'm not black, I'm O.J." But when he was on trial for homicide, who did his lawyers appeal to? Black jurors who remembered how white America had treated black men in the justice system. Remember when Michael Jordan said, "Republicans buy sneakers too," when asked to support Harvey Gantt, a black Democrat running against Jesse Helms?
Another reason why Braun is the GOAT.
One of the most racist senators in modern history? That's the assimilationist playbook. Stay profitable, stay safe, stay silent. These celebrities
stay cowardly. Braun for GOAT, man. Get Jordan the fuck out of here, man.
Celebrities think they can buy their way out of blackness. They move to the whitest neighborhoods, send their kids to the whitest schools, marry white spouses, and raise children who don't know they're black until the world reminds them. And when racism smacks them in the face, and it always does, they're shocked. But here's the real damage. They sell our young people a lie. They make kids believe that if you just work hard enough, speak white enough, dress right enough, you can escape racism. They teach our children that being authentically black is a limitation, not a source of power. Think about how many young black athletes and entertainers have followed this blueprint. They sanitize their image, avoid controversial topics like police brutality or systemic racism.
Yep, Braun has never done that. Braun has never done that.
Learn the rules.
Braun didn't tuck his tail like Jordan, man.
And present themselves as safe for white consumption. They become brands, not people. Products, not advocates. The assimilationist celebrity is dangerous because they don't just betray us, they make betrayal.
Thank you to Above Ruby's TV for this comment, because this comment pretty much embodies the message that I'm trying to convey in this stream. Accountability is one thing, but feeding into stereotypes or building platforms off of harmful rhetoric is a different, dangerous ballgame. Facts.
Betrayal look aspirational. They turn sellout behavior into success goals. They teach our children that the price of admission to white spaces is the abandonment of black identity. And when the next generation of black celebrities follows their lead, staying silent while their people suffer, who do you think they're modeling themselves after? The cycle continues. And
wait. Why was Rich Paul there? What did Rich Paul do?
Get quieter and quieter in the spaces where they need to be loudest. But here's where it gets even more dangerous. What happens when these sellouts don't just stay silent, but actively become the mouthpiece for our oppression? Level 3, the puppet politician. Systemic racism doesn't exist in America. This is Candace Owens. This is Clarence Thomas. This is Tim Scott, telling us America isn't a racist country. These are the most dangerous black people in America today. Why? Because they don't just abandon us, they lead the charge against us. They become the black face of white racism, giving oppressive policies a chocolate coating so they go down easier. Clarence Thomas sits on the highest court in the land and systematically dismantles.
Candace Owens has been going off book, though. Candace Owens recently has been going off the traditional conservative playbook, and she's been doing her own thing. Candace Owens has been going full kamikaze on the juice. Yes, the juice. We're saying the juice. No. I'm not gonna censor myself. Candace Owens has been going. She's been going crazy on the Jews. Israel this, Israel that. She's been calling out all the fuckery. So she's been going off book from the traditional conservative playbook. I think Candace Owens has stopped. But why am I struggling out this bitch? Now, Candace Owens has been going off of the traditional, conventional, grifting, right-wing playbook. She's not espousing the same rhetoric as the traditional coons now. She's been aiming all of her ire at the Jews. Ever since the firing at that Ben Shapiro network, whatever the fuck that shit was called, it's been a different Candace Owens. So I get it for the point's sake, but I don't know. Candace Owens has been on some different shit.
Every protection our ancestors died for. Affirmative action, gone. Voting rights, gutted. Civil rights protections, weakened. And he does it with a smile, knowing damn well he wouldn't be where he is without the very programs he's destroying. Let's be real about Thomas for a minute. This man was accused of physical harassment by Anita Hill.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to Liberal Hogan with the $20 super chat. Shout out to John with the $20 super chat. John says, "What about Denzel? He talks very well. He doesn't get into politics. He isn't controversial and arguably the best representation of black culture we got. Anthony Mackie too. Also, it's John. Also, fuck Candace." Shout out to John with the $20. Now, Denzel does speak very well. He doesn't get into politics. I don't think everybody has to get into politics as long as they represent the community well. You don't have to get into politics. You don't have to combat all the bullshit out there. If you're a great representation of what the hell you want to represent, then kudos to you. Anthony Mackie as well. There's a lot of folks that don't get spoken on a lot because it's not good for clicks and views. We can't really have a glaze off and try to clickbait it and have everybody join in and talk about how great somebody is. It ain't gonna work.
Stick together.
Pause.
But yeah, shout out to John with the 20.
A black woman who put her career on the line to tell the truth. And how did he respond? He called it a high-tech lynching, using the language of black oppression to defend himself while throwing a black woman under the bus. Then, he spent the next 30 years on the court, making sure other black people couldn't access the opportunities that got him there. Thomas's wife, Jenny, was actively working to overturn the 2020 election results, and Thomas refused to recuse himself from cases involving January 6th. This man has so little regard for justice that he'll corrupt the highest court in the land to serve white political interests. But Thomas operates in the shadows. Candace Owens, she's out here making anti-blackness into a full-time career. Owens tours college campuses telling young white kids that racism is over, that black people are just making excuses, that slavery was actually beneficial.
Wait, Candace Owens does that? Candace Owens has been doing that? Hell nah.
Nigga, you gotta go. The fuck is wrong with you?
Because it brought Africans to America. She's turned hatred of her own people into a brand. People are just making excuses. That slavery was actually beneficial because it brought Africans to America. She's turned hatred of...
She said that shit? I need a video and an audio of her saying that shit so I can join John with the fuck Candace. What the fuck was that? Well, I've already said that before in the past, but goddamn. Goddamn, Candace.
Of her own people into a brand, a multimedia empire.
Shout out to T Rolex TV with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
T Rolex TV says, so what side we put Kanye on? Kanye on his own side. Kanye thinks he is a god. Kanye thinks he's the second coming of Jesus. Kanye's on his own team. Kanye comes back to the black side when it's beneficial to us, or not beneficial to us. What the fuck am I talking about? Beneficial to himself. He'll say slavery was a choice and disrespect black folks when it's profitable for him. Kanye is just a loose cannon. Kanye is representing himself. Yo, why do I keep playing the wrong drops while I'm trying to scroll for other things? God damn it, let's get back into this.
A whole damn industry. She literally said that if he had just stayed in Germany, he would have been fine, because she was so desperate to own the libs that she lost her damn mind. But here's the thing, that wasn't a mistake. That's who she is. Someone so consumed with anti-black ideology that she'll defend him to make a point against black progress. And look at these audiences when she speaks. You see the joy on these white faces? They finally found black people who will say what they've always wanted to say. See? They said it, not us. We're not racist. We're just agreeing with the black lady. But if you want to see the ultimate puppet show, let's talk about Kanye West. This man went from George Bush doesn't care about black people to walking around in White Lives Matter shirts with Candace Owens.
Do you see how he recently said that he was making a mockery out of White Lives Matter? He said it was a joke. Everybody knows white lives don't matter. That's what he said. That's Kanye's words.
Like some kind of minstrel show. Kanye had the audacity to say that 400 years of slavery sounds like a choice. This man really sat on TMZ and told the world that our ancestors chose to be kidnapped from Africa, chose to be chained in slave ships, chose to be beaten, assaulted, and systematically subdued for 4 centuries. You know what that was? That was Kanye telling white people exactly.
Nah, listen, y'all. I've heard Candace say a bunch of egregious shit. I heard her make the dumbest points about George Floyd. I didn't know that she said that as well. All right? I know there was a lot of shit in her coon bin, but I didn't know she had an extra bag.
What they wanted to hear, that slavery wasn't that bad. that black people are responsible for their own oppression, that racism is just a mindset we can choose to overcome. And when he got called out for it, what did he do? Doubled down. Started hanging out with Candace Owens, wearing MAGA hats, meeting with Trump in the Oval Office.
Oh no, yo, I forgot about this. This was the filthiest moment in American history. When we watched Kanye West hug Donald Trump's meat, pause, for several minutes in the Oval Office. This was the most glazing, most disgusting meat riding moment we've ever seen in history. This was disgusting work. How did I forget about this? I must have been doing mental gymnastics to wash this shit out of my brain. This was so filthy. Yo, fast forward, man, fast forward. Oh shit, we got a super chat. Shout out to Liberal Hogan.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to John with the $10 super chat. John says, I hate Candace, but that's not what she said. She was talking about how he wasn't a nationalist, he was a globalist. That's where he said, that's where the if Hitler would have kept in Germany, he would be fine came from. Okay. So it's different context taken out of context. Listen, man, I got a lot going on my screen. I didn't even hear what was said about that to begin with. I kind of glossed over that. Pause. But let's get back into it. Shout out to John with the big $10. W's in the chat for John. Liberal Hogan.
Grinning like a damn fool while the president used him as a prop. Then this man had the nerve to go full anti-Semite, talking about going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. You see what happened? He went so far down the white elite rabbit hole that he started parroting their conspiracy theories. And suddenly, all those white Republicans who were using him as their token black friend dropped him like a hot potato. But here's what really pisses me off about Kanye. He had everything: platform, influence, money, respect. He could have used his voice to speak truth to power. Instead, he used it to give white racists exactly what they wanted. A black man saying that black oppression is our own fault.
If Kanye got to the top of the fashion world like he aspired to, and he got the cheap fabrics that all the rich European companies have, he wouldn't have said shit about the Jewish people. He would have been on that same cooning, same throwing black folks under the bus for his own personal gain. I'm saying Kanye's for himself.
Kanye represents the puppet politician at its most pathetic. Someone so desperate for white acceptance that they'll say anything, believe anything, do anything to get that approval. And when the approval runs out, they're left with nothing but the damage they've done to their own people. Tim Scott ran for president on the platform that America is not a racist country, while living in a country where black people are killed by police at 3 times the rate of white people. This man said welfare was worse for black people than slavery. He compared government assistance to the kidnapping and death of millions of African people. But here's what makes the puppet politicians so insidious. They don't just speak to white people, they speak to confused black people too. They tell working class black folks that their struggles are their own fault. They tell black women that feminism is their enemy. They tell black men that white racism is actually black people's fault. This is the puppet politician's function, to be the ventriloquist dummy for white racism. They don't just harm us through silence, like the assimilationist. They actively recruit others to harm us. They give white America moral permission to continue oppressing us while convincing some of us that oppression is actually freedom. The puppet politician is the most dangerous because they have power, platform, and purpose. They're not confused like the assimilationist or broken like the house slave. They're strategic. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're getting paid well to do it. But here's the thing that really gets me. Sometimes the most dangerous betrayal comes from people who genuinely think they're helping us. Level 4, the tragic compromiser. Meet Booker T. Washington, the man who told black people to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, while white folks were cutting the straps. Now, before y'all come for me in the comments, I get it. Booker T lived in a different time. Jim Crow was in full swing. Lynching was a weekend hobby for white folks, and this man was trying to keep us alive. But when he gave that Atlanta Compromise speech in 1895, telling black people to focus on vocational training instead of demanding civil rights, he gave white racists exactly what they wanted: our permission to wait. Cast down your bucket where you are, he said. Accept segregation. Focus on economic development, not political rights. Prove you deserve equality instead of demanding what's already yours. Sound familiar? That's respectability politics, and it's still killing us today. Washington believed that if black people just worked hard enough, were respectable enough, contributed enough to the economy, white people would eventually accept us as equals. He was wrong, dead wrong. All his compromising did was give white racists moral cover to continue oppressing us while pointing to his words as proof that even we agreed with their system. While Washington was teaching black people to be patient, white folks were lynching us at record rates. While he was promoting vocational training, they were burning down Black Wall Street. While he was preaching accommodation, they were passing laws to strip us of the vote. His strategy of appeasement didn't stop the terror. It enabled it. But here's what makes this tragic. Washington genuinely loved black people. He built Tuskegee Institute, educated thousands of our people, and fought for economic advancement. His intentions were pure. But good intentions paved with black bodies still lead to hell. Today's respectable compromisers follow the same playbook. They tell us to vote our way out of oppression, to work within systems designed to destroy us, to be twice as good for half as much. They preach the politics of respectability while our people are killed in broad daylight. You know them, the leaders who say we need to build bridges with people who want to build walls around us. The preachers who tell us to turn the other cheek while bullets are flying. They mean well, but good intentions don't stop police bullets. They mean well, but patience doesn't pay rent. They mean well, but respectability doesn't resurrect the dead. Here's what makes this the most tragic level. These people genuinely love us. They're not seeking white approval like the others. They're trying to protect us, but their fear makes them accept crumbs and call it progress. They tell us to wait for the right time, the right candidate, the right moment. Meanwhile, we're dying in the streets, in prisons, in poverty. How long are we supposed to wait for freedom? How long are we supposed to prove we deserve what's already ours? The respectable compromiser isn't evil. They're just scared. Scared of white backlash. Scared of losing what little progress we've made. Scared that if we push too hard, too fast, white people will take everything away. But here's what they don't understand. White people never gave us anything out of kindness. Every right we have, we fought for. Every law that protects us, we bled for. Every step forward, we took by force, not by asking nicely. The compromiser believes in the myth of gradual progress, the lie that justice delayed is not justice denied. They think racism will fade away if we just give it enough time, enough patience, enough good behavior. But racism isn't a misunderstanding, it's a system. And systems don't reform themselves out of the goodness of their hearts. They change when they're forced to change. Here's what connects all four levels. They all serve the same master. Whether it's through active betrayal, silent complicity, political puppetry, or respectability politics, they all keep white racism alive. The house slave convinces white folks they're good masters. The assimilationist convinces us we can escape. The puppet politician gives racism a black face, and the respectable compromiser tells us to be patient with our own oppression. But here's what they don't want you to know. Every single one of these archetypes exists because white racism needs them. They're not aberrations, they're features of the system. The house slave provides psychological cover. See, even they like being enslaved. The assimilationist provides false hope. If you just try hard enough, you can make it too. The puppet politician provides political cover. It's not racism when a black person says it, and the compromiser provides moral cover. Even their own leaders say they should wait. Together, these four types create a complete ecosystem of black subjugation. They handle different aspects of the psychological, political, and social work needed to maintain white dominance. But here's the real tragedy. Many of these people could have been freedom fighters. The house intelligence could have been used to organize resistance. The assimilationist platform could have been used to advocate for justice. The puppet politician's power could have been used to advance our interests. The compromiser's love could have been channeled into revolutionary action. Instead, white racism captured their talents, and turn them against us.
Yep.
That's the real genius of this system.
Yep.
It doesn't just oppress us with external force, it recruits us to oppress ourselves. So the next time you see a black person tap dancing for white approval, ask yourself, which level are they on? Because until we recognize these patterns, until we call out these sellouts, until we stop making excuses for people who harm us in the name of helping us, we'll never be free. Drop a comment and tell me, which type do you think is the most dangerous? Which ones have you encountered in your own life?
I've encountered
and most importantly,
all of them.
What are we going to do about it? Because our liberation depends on it. And liberation doesn't come from compromise, assimilation, or puppet shows.
Facts.
It comes from the courage to name our enemies, even when they look like us. The revolution.
Black Stories Untold. That's the channel. Shout out to this channel with the excellent commentary. They have great videos over here. Shout out to Black Stories Untold.
Starts when we stop accepting betrayal as strategy, when we stop calling sellouts leaders, when we stop waiting for permission to be free. The question is, are you ready to stop waiting?
The thing about calling these sellouts leaders, Anton Daniels, a sellout, is actively a leader in the community, funneling a lot of black folks into the sellout platform that he provides for his audience. Now, the issue with Anton Daniels is when Anton Daniels first popped up on the scene, like I supported a lot of these folks, you know. I supported Anton Daniels a long time ago, but then I've been cooking him for the past several years because he's been cooning. But when he first popped up, he was the image of a wholesome family man, married his high school sweetheart, his first love, has a daughter, raising her correctly, 2-parent household, family, all there, extended family support, all that stuff. Man of Christ, can quote you any scripture, was speaking all the proper, the most well put together talking points on the panels of Lapeef Days and his old platform. Even with Kevin Samuels, when Kevin Samuels was coming on the platform and spitting game. And I'm like, Anton Daniels was a better representation for the community than even Kevin Samuels when Kevin Samuels was on his platform. Way back in the day before he started cooning. Because he didn't have all that cooning shit in his digital footprint. He was speaking a lot of biblical shit. He was like, I can't even explain it. Like, I was spitting my shit, but I'm a hood nigga at the end of the day that came from different areas, and I've done a bunch of shit in my life. So he was like the clean-cut version of, you know, trying to get the community on the right track. And then he went ultra-right, super right, conservative grift. It started with the manosphere grift when he started trying to mark out black women, blame everything on black women, be unaccountable for the community, talk about feminism, try to make Kay and Kayla and the girls on the show look bad every single time because he tried to agitate them to get a certain reaction and be like, see, black women are rambunctious, they're ghetto, they're aggressive, they're shit talking, they're all this shit, the stuff that labels that he tried to put on them. It's bad, man.
There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned.
As the days go on, I'm slowly realizing that all skin folk is not kinfolk. In 2025, bootlicking is on the rise and it's bad. I know this might sound...
Shout out to Liberal Hogan with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
John says, I disagree. It's not assimilation to be a part of American culture. We built the unions, the transcontinental railway, our railroad, which was vital to industrialism. America is America because of us. Now, I agree with the second part. I agree with the first part too. It's not assimilation to be part of American culture. Wait, so where the hell do we disagree? Because you say you disagree, but I agree with this entire point. Maybe it was something said in the video.
Wow, but personally, I hold a racist white person to a higher standard than I do a raccoon. At least from the eye test, I can tell you don't like me. As of lately, though, with the result of Charlie Kirk getting put on a t-shirt, so many raccoons have been coming out of the woodworks.
Charlie was shot because he's honest and people listen to him. Even if you believe he was wrong about every single thing that ever...
I'm sorry, I'm going to fast forward this part. I don't care to... The whole Charlie Kirk stuff, I don't care to discuss. As you've seen, I was absent for the 2 weeks when that was controlling the media cycle and everybody was uploading clips and talking about that. I was like, yeah, no.
We don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
No disrespect to Charlie Kirk, but I didn't want to be a part of that political grift going with... It was the most nasty work in relation to Charlie Kirk's death. Everybody used it for a political grift for their side. And I was like, the man died. His wife's grieving. His kids are grieving. And I'm like, y'all are making it about everything but the fact that he got shot. It looked like it was through the front, but it was through the back. The shooter was on the... I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Now it's a conspiracy theory. It's just a mess, man. I didn't care to talk about it, to be honest. If I can't stamp down some facts and it's so much conspiracy around it, there's celebration around his death. I don't celebrate people's deaths. But I'm also not going to be like, he said a whole bunch of racist shit when he was alive, so I'm not going to defend him either. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'll pass on this, man. I'll pass on this one. It is what it is. Shout out to Liberal Hogan with the $5 super chat. Liberal Hogan paying my entire check this month.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to John. John says, not you, the video. Okay. Do I need to change my name back to John? I'm LT and... Whoa. Yo, this is why I have to go back to reading ahead. I gotta read ahead, man. I almost fell into that one. Yo, fuck you, John. Fuck out of here, man. Holy shit. Holy.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Hold up, bro. We gotta recuperate after that last clip. I can guarantee you, bro, if we was back in slavery times, if Master passed away, them folks would be up in there crying, man. I can guarantee it. Also, in these videos, a lot of them love to talk about how he was like a civil rights leader. He was a man of God. He was for the people. What y'all gotta say about this clip, then?
Do you think that there should be free school lunch for all children?
No.
Why?
Of course not. Because parents should feed their kids, not the government.
What if they can't?
Go get a job.
A child?
The parents should go get the job. Yeah. This is important. I don't believe...
They have jobs and they can't support their children there because the minimum wage is so low.
No, you are a dumb dude. Don't give me this stuff. First of all...
To call the man dumb while displaying high levels of idiocy is hilarious. Now, Charlie Kirk has been cooked many times in certain university campuses that they refuse to show the clips, but I have a whole bunch of videos, and I was like, damn, we're not going to do this. I just left it alone, but I'm like, there's so much debates where he gets cooked and he is hilariously uninformed.
This is really
I want children to eat?
Of course I do. Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist.
I don't want to make this a Charlie Kirk video, but it's like, man, how can you explain clips like this? It shows you how out of touch this man was with reality. I went to school in a low poverty area.
That's why I didn't speak about him after, because I'm like, yo, y'all are making a big deal of somebody that I haven't made a single video on ever. And I know a bunch of people prior to his death haven't made a single video on about him prior to that, nor did they even care about his opinions prior. So I'm like, if I didn't care about your opinions while you were alive, why am I making a big deal in doing it when you're gone? I personally don't care, man. I've been outside this summer. I don't know about y'all.
A lot of kids there that dependent on those free lunches, those free breakfasts that the school offered. And even just going to the store nowadays, I'm well off for myself. Me and my family, we make good money, but groceries take out a big chunk of our money. And then you wonder why health problems are rampant in the black community. High blood pressure, diabetes, heart problems, cancer. This stuff comes from having to eat bad, low quality, cheap type of foods. According to Feed America, nearly 14 million children face hunger in 2023, bruh. Come on, dog.
This is the left after George Floyd died. George Floyd had more than enough fentanyl in his system to die from overdose. If you go back and watch the video, he was saying, "I can't breathe," way before he ever got put on the ground. Now, the right has just seen one of the most influential people on their side get murdered in cold blood. Charlie Kirk had no criminal record. Again, he was murdered in cold blood by someone radicalized by the left. And what you're looking at is the right's response.
I just find it funny whenever a black person does something heinous, criminal, murderous. It's this black person did X, Y, and Z. These black people, gang activity, violence, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, white kills a white. We're talking about radicalized by the left. All right, man.
Now, this is Jeffrey Mead, and oh my God, this man is the biggest raccoon on TikTok. We're gonna break down everything he just stated in that video. For one, he said this is how the left reacted and this is how the right reacted. The left did peaceful protests. Now, for one, they couldn't really crash out because the person that took out Charlie Kirk was a registered Republican voter and he was a young white man. For two, black HBCU schools were threatened the next day for something that a young white man did. For three, does he not remember what happened on January 6th when people stormed the Capitol? Like, they literally tap dance and cherry pick so many situations. It's sad. Brother, you're still black at the end of the day. And actually, 90% of the George Floyd riots were peaceful. And why do y'all love to keep bringing up George Floyd, bro? He's not our martyr. We're just mad that he was killed by a police officer.
Yo, that's the funniest shit. I'm gonna let him finish the point, but this is so true.
The end of the day. And actually, 90% of the George Floyd riots were peaceful. And why do y'all love to keep bringing up George Floyd, bro? He's not our martyr. We're just mad that he was killed by a police officer. That could have been done to any of us. I already did a video showing all of
that. Is the whole point. They're like, yo, this George Floyd shit. They're so mad at George Floyd and his presence, his name and everything. Oh, why is he a figure? Why is he representing X, Y, and Z? And it's like, bro, it could have been literally anybody. It could have been John Doe. Insert generic black dude. It doesn't matter. It's a man that's being killed by a police officer who's supposed to protect and serve, who had his knee on his neck for 7.5 minutes. What part of the game is that? Oh, he was a criminal. He's on fentanyl. It's like, bro, aren't you guys dealing with a fentanyl crisis that needs government concern and government aid? And many countries are dealing with it, including Canada, the UK. UK is not really you know, whatever, man. Let's get into it.
The racist things that Charlie Kirk has said, so I'm not going to do much in this video. I will say this, though. Charlie Kirk did not believe in the Civil Rights Act.
I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Why did you say that the Civil Rights Bill should be overturned?
Well, I didn't say that. I said it was a mistake.
Why? That's crazy.
Now you gotta figure it out.
I wouldn't be here. That's trouble.
We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk's self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
It's so ironic because the same law that Charlie Kirk was going against is the only reason why they have the ability to do the things they're doing today. They can vote for Donald Trump. They can be around other white people. They don't have to worry about getting lynched. I can go on and on. Now, we're really about to get into the meat of this video because all of the little TikToks and people standing up for Charlie Kirk isn't really doing damage as much. It's really the YouTubers.
Okay, you put that clip up entirely too fast. Like, we couldn't even see the YouTubers you listed.
I can go on and on. Now, we're really about to get into the meat of this video because all of the little TikToks and people standing up for Charlie Kirk isn't really doing damage as much. It's really...
Okay, there we go. Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, Black Conservative Perspective, Cartier family, and Anton Daniels. Notice the amount of subscribers that these folks have. Candace Owens at 5.13 million, 1.4K videos. The Hodge twins, 3.46 million with 3.3K videos. a lot of fucking videos, a lot of work to get these subscribers. Black Conservative Perspective, 964,000 subscribers, 7.7K videos. Cartier Family, 1.62 million subscribers, 2.2K videos. Anton Daniels, 951,000 subscribers with 7.4K videos. So he's around the same level as Black Conservative Perspective. And people were talking about these conservative grifters and these people that speak very poorly of their own community always do ridiculously high numbers. And there the numbers are. These numbers are, they're killing it. They're putting in the work, though. There's a lot of videos involved in this. Shout out to Liberal Hogan with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Liberal Hogan John says, if you play the CRA bit out fully, you'll hear Kirk say the same things that FBA say. The CRA was to be for racism and used for the LGBTQ. Now, we're definitely going to break down a lot of the things that the FBA folks have been saying, because the FBA folks, FBA online is a bunch of folks that infiltrated it. They don't show profile pictures, nothing to identify who they actually are. They're claiming to be these Black American elitists that hate other blacks of any kind. Doesn't matter if they're tethering it down or not. If you're a Jamaican, if you're Nigerian, if you're Ghanaian, whatever the fuck you are, they're hating on you and they're sowing division online, led by the dumb rhetoric of Tariq Nasheed. Now, these folks don't represent the real thoughts and comments of Black Americans, obviously, because there's Black Americans in the comments section always combating these FBA elitists who are parroting white supremacist talking points, sowing division amongst blacks. But, shout out to John with the $5 super chat.
The YouTubers. You see, making anti-black content is very profitable. But if you're black and making anti-black content, it's even better. This is the thing, y'all. These black YouTubers are like a vessel for what white people really want to say. They can't just come out and say these type of things because they already know they will be labeled as racist. So if they see a black person saying something racist, it's going to make them feel better and be like, see, a black person said it. I'm not wrong. Now, the first raccoons we're going to talk about, the Cartier family. Oh, man, it's so obvious that these dudes are grifting. They started...
I say the Cartier family, the Cartier family, I guess. That's what it's...
started out making like music reaction content, and then that slowly dried up, so they needed to find a new source of income. So let's take a look at their channel. So you see the type of content that they do. But do y'all notice the same thing that I do? Black fatigue strikes. Black fatigue strikes murder. Trump goes nuclear on black fatigue in no video. Black fatigue strikes. Y'all get the point. What a lot of these people love to say is that, we're just bringing awareness.
Now, what part of this is awareness and accountability when you put a label like black fatigue and have folks constantly talking about they're tired of black folks? And this is what I'm talking about when I say America has a permanent hard-on for the black community. It makes no sense. When you listen to every country's main political issues right now, when it comes to whether it's the European nations, whether it's Canada, or everywhere else, and even America, outside of their permanent hard-on for black people, it's immigration, it's fentanyl, the fentanyl crisis, and the economy, the housing crisis. When we're talking about the fentanyl crisis, it's crazy in all these countries. The cities are drug-ridden. It's terrible, but it's a lot of the white community on fentanyl. So it becomes a crisis for them and not a crack epidemic where they're locking up a bunch of black folks. It's let's help these folks. Let's have places in Canada where we're going to help administer these drugs for these folks. We're going to get them free food. I live in Toronto, all right? The mayor of Toronto, Olivia Chow, is talking about raising property tax for folks that live and purchase their homes to give more money to asylum seekers that have no business being in Toronto. Mass immigration. Too much immigration from one location. You have too many Indians because immigration, I live in a melting pot. Toronto is an immigration hub. We take a lot of immigrants. Our culture is built on that. But too much immigration from one place displaces the culture. It fucks up everything. You can't have too much immigration from one place. These people aren't assimilating. They're trying to take over. Most countries are dealing with a fentanyl crisis and an immigration crisis. America, they posture like they're more focused on the fentanyl crisis and immigration, but every last headline is some racist bullshit between blacks and whites. It's a white woman calling a 5-year-old black child, who's autistic, by the way, the N-word, losing her job, and then getting $1 million raised by Give, Send, Go by a bunch of racist folks doubling down. The same racist folks who are laughing at people that lost their job for speaking on Charlie Kirk. Doubling down. Yeah, freedom of speech, it comes with consequences, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Charlie Kirk, you guys are crying about Charlie Kirk being shot for his opinion, but saying that freedom of speech comes with consequences, you're losing your jobs because you had an opinion. Meanwhile, walk in the street and call the wrong person a bitch, you might get slapped. This is life. Why is it new to folks? Why do folks not understand that freedom of speech, you can say what you want to say without government prosecution, but it doesn't, you're not protected, my nigga. I don't know what people thought. Like, people woke up and I don't know what the hell happened to folks, but folks clearly forgot life. Shout out to Liberal Hogan with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Liberal Hogan says, LT hot take, fuck immigrants. No. I'm saying fuck immigration in abundance from one location. You got these niggas building their statues and their monuments, their religious statues in mainstream locations by the airport. As soon as you fly into Toronto, you see their dumbass fucking statue. It's like, bro, this is not Little India, my nigga. This is Toronto. This is a melting pot. We all here, all right? Not just you. We all here.
To it. We're trying to make the black community a better place. No, you're not. You're just fueling the fire for people to be more racist. I can guarantee that most of the people watching your videos have never had a real interaction with the black person. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with criticizing the black community, but clearly they're just doing this for views and approval of white people. The main problem is generalization.
And it just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense that the most lucrative content and commentary is denigrating the black community in this time, in 2025, when every other country is dealing with other shit. America has a permanent hard-on for blacks. I'm gonna keep saying it.
A black person does something bad, they stand for the entire group of black people. We're a monolith. But change it around and let a white person do something. It's a liberal, it's a Republican, it's this and that.
Exactly.
No, why is
no
it the same way?
accountability.
And here's another obvious example that they're pandering to their racist audience. In the title, they put Democrat attack Christians. Democrat.
Right?
So it's not white fatigue. Here's another one. Charlie Kirk death triggers
Yo, so when it's a black folk, because blacks generally were the highest Democratic voters due to percentages. Like, was it 90% of black folks vote Democrat? When a black folk does something, it should always be listed as Democrat does X, Y, and Z. Always should be Democrat does X, Y, and Z. It shouldn't be, if it's not racism now, and if it isn't rage baiting.
Black fatigue. What did we have to do with it? The shooter was a white man. Put white fatigue, Charlie Kirk death. Like, what? These dudes are so pathetic because they will never show anything negative towards the white community. And this is extremely easy to do. Have you heard about the South Carolina judge that got arrested for trying to get child you know what? Or better yet, how about the man that just killed 3 police officers? It's so many stories,
Wait.
bro.
When the fuck did that happen? Someone killed 3 police officers and went under the radar? When the hell did that happen?
Easy to do. Have you heard about the South Carolina judge that got arrested for trying to get child you know what? Or better yet, how about the man that
he was trying to what? What the fuck? And this guy? Let me move my screen. This guy killed 3 officers? This guy right here killed 3 officers. Holy.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
just killed 3 police officers. It's so many stories, bro.
5 officers shot, 3 killed. That guy, holy shit. Holy shit. That guy pulled up and he was just like...
I'm about to add that hoe out.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Insane. Oh, you can't even see me. I'm behind the words. God damn it. Yeah, insane, man. Insane. And not one headline. We could have turned that into several different videos.
And if I was petty, I would just spam white fatigue videos and find degenerate videos of them. It is so easy to do that. That ain't my job here, man. My job is to unite my black people, though. Some other channels like this are the Hodge Twins, Anton Daniels, Candace Owens, the Black Conservative, and I'm pretty sure more and more will come up. Listen, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but these dudes will get their Negro wake-up call soon. Just like this dude did. He said, as a black man, I would be honored to fight side by side with you brothers, just like when you fought to free the slaves. Someone replied, us whites got this. You can help by packing your bags and getting the off our land. That's it for this video, man, and I ain't gonna lie. My whole time editing and recording this mug, it had me heated. It's just something about a raccoon, man. It's worse than any racist person. In 2025, sadly, there are too many Uncle Ruckuses.
Shout out to T-Rolex TV with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Where the fuck is my donations at? There we go.
Donations.
Nasty and filthy work. Yup.
We need more Hueys, man. Make sure y'all tap into my second channel, though. This type of stuff is draining to talk about all the time, racism and stuff. So this is just a, go check that out. Also, we've been blowing up so fast, and I have been talking out against a lot of BS. So you never know if they will come from my channel, but just check that out. Also, all of my socials down below, my TikTok, Instagram. If you got questions, I will message you, bro. I'm not Hollywood at all, especially if you down for the cause, man. I appreciate all the love, man. We almost at 60,000 subscribers, bro. It is insane. We growing.
Now, shout out to this guy. I did not expect to play this clip for this long. I was supposed to already taking this off the screen and get into my commentary. Shout out to T-Rolex TV for that $2. Yeah, chat. I have effectively forgot what the hell I was gonna say.
You want to sit there and stay on the weed?
Yo, I hate when that happens. I truly hate when that happens. I'm literally here focusing, trying to retain the thought. I'm about to bar y'all down, and then I forget. Was it related to something he was saying? Hold on, let me try to jog my memory, chat. This is a bad moment.
My whole time editing and recording this mug, it had me heated. It's just something about a raccoon, man. It's worse than any racist.
Yeah, no, I was off the coons, man. The racism, it was kind of funny at the end. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not too disheartened and hurt and dispirited by racist folks. I see them, I see what they try to do, and I look at them and laugh. I'm like, you stop me? You stop me, please, nigga. Please. So I'm like, implore your racism all you want. We don't care, bro.
We don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Damn, man, this is bad. This was an important point. I know by the time I log off, I'm gonna get another bottle of water. I'm gonna sit on my couch, and I'm gonna realize that the point that I needed to make here was a very significant point to conclude the show. And I'm really trying to talk circles into the point that I forgot, but it will eventually come back to me. Shout out to T-Rolex TV with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Does the Passport Bro movement get categorized as raccoons or ghetto? I would say Dusty. So I would say more close to ghetto. But I would say Dusty. A lot of them are coons, though. A lot of the Passport Bros are coons. A lot of them, they do hate black women, but a lot of them don't like American culture more than their disdain for black women individually. A lot of the Passport Bros will go overseas and date black women that aren't American. So a lot of it is American culture, to be honest. And they're unsuccessful in America. They don't have the requisite bread to be competitive. We're gonna get into the incident of that Passport Bro. The Passport Bro that brought his Kenyan wife to America and lost her real quick because he's not that guy. He wasn't him. Shout out to Liberal Hogan with the $5 super chat. You say truth is right versus left shit. That's for white folks. It ain't for black folk. We need to remove ourselves from it, and they be sellouts on both sides. That's absolute facts, man. That's absolute facts. We don't really see the sellouts on the left so much because we don't really care about the topics that they be covering on the left. We see like Mark Lamont Hill being a complete panderer for the left, not acknowledging that there's only two genders, trying to talk about men could be pregnant and men could give birth. And it's like, bro, come on, man. This is ultra pandering, ultra grifting, but on the other side. But the right grifting hurts the community more. The left grifting is just a bunch of idiocy and mental gymnastics and men could be women bullshit, like, but the grifting on the right hurts the black community a lot more. So that's what I notice for the most part. Let's get into the passport bros are Republicans. A lot of them are Republicans. I'm going to keep it a stack. A lot of them are. A lot of them are coons. But the premise of the passport bro movement isn't stemmed on coonology. So it's more of disdain and lack of success with women that leads to being a passport bro. Did I not render that show? Shit. Holy, I was supposed to bring this up because I'm here, right? I might as well react to that right now because we here. But I didn't render the show, bro. I got the raw clip. Ain't nobody trying to watch the raw clip. Hold on. Okay, so for some reason I can't find this video on YouTube anymore, but I downloaded this. This is the Kenyan woman that the passport bro brought back. He had a child with her, I believe, but she left him for a white American dude. So yeah, she's getting her cheeks clapped by a white American dude after he brought her back from Kenya.
Oh my God!
Previously on TikTok.
Yeah, we're in Chinatown.
And of course, this was spearheaded by Bobby, Kid Greatness, one of the top advocates for Kenyan women. And oh, damn it, this is top volume. This is why you got to render it before you do this. Yeah, chat, the volume might be a little low on this, but it is what it is. Yeah, Bobby. Bobby's responsible for this. Bobby and Austin are selling these passport bros a dream. And then this passport bro he broke the #1 cardinal rule of a passport bro is never bring the women back to America.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
That's the #1 rule, because then you'll be exposed. She sees you in the society that you're your natural habitat, and then she realizes that, wait a minute, this guy's a dweeb. This guy's not competitive out here. He broke. Look at all these opportunities in America to be great. To be great again. And she took her opportunities. And it's just sad.
Kilimani, and I'm here with a very, very interesting couple. They have a channel called US Meets Kenya. I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves, starting with the lady first.
Hey guys, I'm Faith from Kenya.
Okay. And I'm Keith from USA.
Yeah, and this is our baby.
Of course.
She's called Serena.
Yeah, she's adorable. She's adorable. Okay, so, bro, where are you from in the States?
So I'm originally from Michigan, from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, you from the D? Oh, okay. We'll be out here.
I have died every day away.
Man, Good Buddy looks so happy right here, bro. And I gotta talk over this because this song is kind of being a copyright here, so I had to redo it. And I know you guys hear the music, but yeah, she's so happy knowing that, hey, I got this guy to marry me. He's American. I came up on Tinder. All I got to do.
Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear. Put a 2 in the chat if it's too damn low. I might have to render this file and come back and react to this so we can get a proper reaction, because I can barely hear shit.
Do is give him a baby, and it is curtains. Man. And I know my man is just in bliss right now, just loving it. But bro,
yeah, y'all can't hear it. Yeah, we ain't ruining this. We ain't ruining the reaction. We will be back. And at this point, I still can't remember my point that I was gonna make before. This is entirely too bad. So we're gonna react. We're gonna react to this later. We're gonna come back eventually. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We out. Yeah.
fridge? Why is that shit so loud?